Hey, I'm Dana Lynn. I'm a custom clothing sewist, a designer for my two women's clothing brands, a wardrobe styling consultant, and a sewing instructor who helps you take your skills from dibbling and dabbling to pro status. Today, you're going to learn how to make a crisscross headband. And most likely, this will become your BFF of hair accessories. So what are we waiting for? It's time to simply sew chic.
Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way.
First, we're going to make our pattern. One tool or item that you might need is either a stapler or tape. Tape I'll use for this project. It's going to be used to tape these two sheets of paper together so we can have enough length to make our pattern for our headband. So we're going to go ahead and tape our paper together. Okay. Next, what we'll do is we're going to do our measurement that we need for our paper pattern. I'm going to measure this model here, but you can do the measurement I do on the model on your own head or whoever the subject is that you're making the headband for, okay? So you're going to take your tape measure, and what we're doing simply is we're going to measure around the base of the back of your head up to the front top of your head, okay? And we're going to get that measurement. So you might just want to start with the tape at the top and measure around like so. Grab your measurement, write that down on a piece of paper. What you're going to do with that measurement is subtract 2 inches from it. The purpose of subtracting 2 inches from that measurement is for the pure fact that the length is going to be what wraps around your head, and you don't want the exact measurement because it will be too loose. It will not grab onto your head. So due to the fact we're using stretch fabric, we're going to take away the 2 inches off of that measurement in order for that stretch fabric to wrap around our head and cling onto your head. Okay? Simple? Great. This is a very easy sew, which means it is beginner sewing friendly, okay? I'm going to show you some equipment that you're probably going to need to be successful with this project. And you can pretty much get it at your local fabric store or your local store that carries sewing projects. So what you'll need are 2 pieces of paper that are about 8 by 11. This is what you're going to use to make your pattern for your crisscross headband. I have cardstock here, which is just a little bit thicker than your usual print paper, but it's your option. It's just for stability on your pattern piece. You will need a ruler of some sort. A clear rule is something that I keep handy. Your pin cushions that will help you while sewing. The color of your choice to match your fabric you're going to use. For cutting your fabric, I have two options here. I have the manual rotor blade, and I have scissors for fabric. I also have a separate pair of scissors for paper, and that's because the paper will dull my fabric scissors, and I don't want to take that chance. So a separate pair of scissors is recommended for paper. You also want to have handy your snips. Your snips are what you're going to use when you are sewing your projects and you're detaching the stitch from the sewing machine from your project. Okay? Grab some pens, maybe a couple, two different colors of markers, maybe an ink pen or two. These you're going to use when making your pattern. Make sure that you have a seam ripper handy in case you go off your sewing path. This will easily help you detach the sewing stitch so that you can continue on with sewing. A measuring tape, flexible measuring tape is recommended. We're going to need to take the measurements that we need for our headband. So make sure you have a measuring tape handy as well. And last but definitely not least is going to be your fabric. Okay, the fabric you're going to use is a stretch knit fabric, so you want to make sure you have a good amount of stretch for your headband. Let's get started. Okay, so on the paper here you can see that measurement that you took around your head. You're going to take your ruler and you're going to measure from corner to corner that measurement, and then you're going to add 1 inch. Okay? Now from the bottom of the paper to the top, this is going to be the width of your headband. So the width of your headband is actually 2 times your desired width. If you want your headband to be 2 inches, you're going to make this width 4 inches and add an inch. I'll explain what the added inch is for later. Okay, so for review, the measurement that is the length of your pattern is going to be the measurement around your head with 1 inch added. The measurement for the width of your finished headband is going to be the width that you desire times 2. For this example, we'll use the width we desire is 4 inches. Multiply it times 2 will be 8 inches, and we're going to add 1 inch. That's going to be your measurement for the total width of this pattern. Okay, now you see the green dots. The green dots are going to be around the perimeter of the pattern piece, 1/4 inch in from the very edge of your pattern piece. That gives you a stitch line when you sew your garment or your headband. All right, we're going to lay this on the fabric, and I'm going to cut this pattern piece out and meet you back at the sewing machine. All right, the 2 machines that I'll use are my serger and my single needle sewing machine. You don't have to use a serger. It does help you make a professional finish on your garment. However, you can use your single needle and be just as professional. Now, regarding the fabric, I have it cut out, and you want to make sure when you cut it out that the stretch is along the length side the length way across the length of the fabric of the pattern opposed to the width of the pattern. This is the side that is not going to have the most stretch. The length of your pattern is going to have the most stretch. What we need to do now is take your pattern, your fabric, and we are going to fold the fabric lengthwise in half, with the good side, the side that we want to be seen, on the inside of the fold. Okay, so this would be the side, and this would be the side that we do not want seen. The good side is inside the fold, and we're going to stitch along the length of the pattern. So let's do that. Okay, so we've serged or sewn the edge of the lengthwise fabric. Now we're going to turn it inside out, flip it inside out, so that now the good side, or the side you want to be seen, is on both sides of the fabric. You're going to lay it flat, and the seam you just sewed, you're going to have it face up and make sure it's evenly in the middle lengthwise. Once you've done that, you flip the whole piece over. You take both ends and you just put them together evenly on the ends, such as this. You see the seam on one side and the seam on the other side. Then you're going to take the two pieces where the seams are, and one seam you're going to put on the edge of the opposite piece, and the other seam you're going to run along the edge of the piece close to you. Okay? Now this is how you're going to create the crisscross. You take your right edge and wrap it away from you but around to meet that back piece. You take your left edge and wrap it towards you to meet the other piece. You're going to have a sandwich that looks like this. What you're going to do is you're going to sew across the edge 1/4 of an inch. We did leave an extra 1/4 of an inch for ease. So on your single needle or on your serger, sew straight across. And we're going to do that. Alright, so we've serged across that edge. Since we have the bad sides on the outside, we're going to flip it right side out, straighten it up, and there you have your crisscross. Let's see how it looks on our sample. All you need to do is put it over the head, adjust it where you like, where it's comfortable, and there you have it. I hope you enjoyed making your crisscross headband. Why not make a few? And remember to subscribe, set your notifications, and comment below. Let me know how it worked out for you. And I'll see you next time on Simply So Chic.